So we have with us Mr. Advait Chandan, director at Chrome Pictures. Apart from being an ad filmmaker, Advait is also the man behind launching Chandan and Secret Superstar. Hi Advait, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you.
So Advait, what inspired you to get into ad filmmaking?
Actually, for me, it's all filmmaking. It's all storytelling, and I've just always been interested in filmmaking. So I kind of dropped out of college and I started working with Naskar back in 2004. So I actually started as an assistant in advertising and then worked on some features. But for me, it's all the same. It's like how cricket is the same. It doesn't matter if it's IPL or one day or test match. It's cricket. You just change the way you play, but the game is still the same. So I feel it's all filmmaking. It's all storytelling.
So technology se rishta jodo, the campaign you did for Reliance Digital, it showcases seamless blend between storytelling and brand messaging.
Right.
What was the creative process behind it? What all went behind the campaign?
Actually, that was my first project with Chrome as a director, and Karthik and Trisha had written the script, and when they came to me, Trisha narrated it. And he's such a good narrator that actually when he was narrating, I could see the shots, I could see the pace of the film. And honestly, creatively, I don't think I actually changed even a single thing. It's exactly the script that the agency gave me, and it was a lovely script. So I think all credit for the concept and for the blending, as you're saying, with the client messaging, it goes totally to Karthik and Trisha.
So, Reliance Digital's campaign are often, it's very heartwarming. They are usually very heartwarming, but it often revolves around the same, a kind of similar theme. So, as a director, how do you differentiate your the work that you receive? All the campaigns that you worked on.
Right. See, I actually feel like I should not matter, and when you watch a film, it should not be that you feel like, "Arey, Advait kuch different kiya hai." The job is to try and communicate the brand's messaging as effectively as possible. So when people watch it, they find it interesting, or they find it moving, or they find that the ad or the film connects with them or resonates with them. So that was the idea, to just tell whichever script comes to me as sincerely as possible. So it doesn't, like, what I am or how I differentiate, it doesn't really matter.
Is there any directorial style or any narrative style that you bring?
No, I don't actually. My job is to try and tell the script. See, for example, if a script, everything comes from the material.
Right.
So, for example, if there's a film we're working on where the script is really wacky or funny, then my job is to try and find a wacky way of telling it, or to land it in a way where the joke lands and people laugh. If the script inherently has emotion, or a script inherently has some kind of drama, then my job is to do that sincerely. So I feel like everything comes from the script, not from the director. So when Karthik and Trisha shared the script with me, it was always about this woman, it was always character driven, it was always about her and her feeling of kind of wanting to take a leap, but being a little bit stuck. And it's always going to try a new thing. Like, even if you switch, let's say, iOS to Android, or Android to iOS, there's a little bit of a jump, and you feel like, I don't know if I get it. You go from like a manual car to an automatic car, you feel that.
Right.
If you've only been, like, if you're traveling in local train, the first time you're traveling in metro, you feel like, ye kya hai, mujhe pata nahi kaise lete hain. You know what I'm saying? So for the first time you go to a new country. So it's this woman who's never used an oven and is not so tech friendly and is trying to buy an oven and use an oven. So actually it's a feeling that we all go through in our own way.
Right.
So the idea was to try and communicate that as sincerely as possible. I really feel like we have to do justice and honesty to the script and to the core thought of the film, and not to who the director is or what his directorial style is.
So, reflecting on your journey in the advertising industry and film industry both, can you highlight one of the most significant challenge that you have encountered, and how did you overcome it? How did you overcome it?
Honestly, every film really is a challenge, right? It's a series of challenges, and you keep trying to deal with that challenge. And sometimes, like, for example, when we were making our feature film, COVID hit. I mean, there were 2 lockdowns, and then so there was that challenge, Some days you're shooting and you have a lot of work to do within that one 8 hours or 12 hours, and that becomes a challenge. So I feel like anyway filmmaking is like hurdle jumping or obstacle race. You just keep jumping over one obstacle to the other. And I think that where I got really lucky in my feature film world and my advertising world is that I've always had really amazing producers.
Okay.
So honestly, for a director, the only way he can overcome challenges is the same. So only if he has strong producers.
Right.
So I've had Anjana Productions and now I have Chrome Pictures. So as producers, they are so strong and so supportive that becomes how I mostly overcome all my challenges.
Right, absolutely. So all the campaigns that you have worked on, is there any one campaign that holds a special place in your heart that you love the most?
I think Reliance Digital wala jo hai technology se rishta joda, I think that I feel very fondly about because that was the first film with Chrome. And Chrome Pictures for the last, I think it's been making amazing films for the last 20 years, Like I sit and watch Chrome films just for fun. I go to the YouTube page and just keep watching film after film. I think Amit's body of work is just phenomenal. So for me to get a platform like Chrome Pictures and to work with Chrome Pictures was a very big deal. So I think that definitely was my favorite.
So whose work in the advertising industry you admire the most?
Definitely Amit Sharma. Sorry, I'm just taking my coffee.
So which particular...
Definitely Amit Sharma. Any film. I think what Amit does, if I can do 10% of that in my life, I'll be happy. Because what Amit has done, for example, obviously Google Reunion is like the most famous one, but even wo jo abhi wo unki toothpaste wali hai, Colgate wali, wo cutting machine. It's just amazing. I can tell you how many times I've seen it. उसके बाद उन्होंने एक अभी वो आयुष टूथपेस्ट वाली भी करी है. So I just feel like even what Amit did with Reliance Digital, the other one. So I find Amit's work, what he done. There was one with he had done a Saregama campaign. So I find Amit's work great. In fact, that is one of the big reasons I want to work at Chrome is because I really look up to Amit as a filmmaker. I think whether it's his advertising work or his feature film work, he's really amazing.
So, Advait, from your perspective, what are some of the current trends or challenges that you see in the current scenario of advertising, ad filmmaking, and production houses? How do you see them evolving in the future?
I wish I knew, but I have no answer to that. But what I do know is that I feel like Chrome Pictures is such a fertile place to be. Because there are about 6-7 directors and everyone's constantly helping each other. Everyone's constantly kind of like someone's doing a VO, someone's doing editing, someone with the edit, someone's helping someone with the music. So I feel like because there's so much like cooperation, there's so much like everyone helping each other, there's such a good vibe at Chrome. I feel like the future's nice only. But I really don't know what's happening outside. I don't know what the trend is. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what happened in the future. I wish I knew, but I have no idea.
Okay. So your journey from making ad films and to directing feature films like Secret Superstar and Dancing Chandan is quite significant.
Right.
So what motivated you to make this transition from ad filmmaking to making feature films? And how did your experience in advertising kind of influence your approach to filmmaking?
Right. I feel same. It's like T20 and one day or test match. You have to change your pace and you have to change your strategy. Because for example, you have to try and tell the whole film in 30 seconds, the whole film in 20 seconds sometimes. Right? And sometimes you have 2 hours to tell the whole film.
Right.
But the concept is the same. You're telling a story using the same tools. Right? And you want the audience to connect. And you always have a message to put out there. And the message might be like in Secret Superstar, all I wanted to say was कि ड्रीम देखना तो बेसिक होता है, ये मेरा मैसेज था. और इस रिलायंस वाली फिल्म में था कि टेक्नोलॉजी से रिश्ता जोड़ो, तो वही है ना, आप एक चीज़ बोलना चाह रहे हैं and you're using the tools available to you, and because of the format, you will be given a certain amount of duration, and that is what you have to work within. So I mean, I have never done a web series, but I'd love to do it, and I feel like again it will be same only. Still, you're trying to say something because it's a longer format. You can say complex and many messages. In an ad film, you get to say only 1 or 2 things, because you're saying it only in 30 seconds, so it's a simpler format. And it's challenging because you have only that much duration. But the fundamentals are same. The fundamentals of telling a story, the fundamentals of performance, of shot taking or staging, or music, the fundamentals are the same.
So which platform which format do you think is more rewarding or more challenging?
I don't think one is more than the other. I personally enjoy both a lot. The joy of advertising is that I feel like it's like 100 meters, you know. If like every month you get to work with different technicians, you get to work with a different editor, different cinematographer, different music composer. So that's a lot of fun because the churn is much faster. You get to work with more actors. Whereas with features, what happens is more like a marathon,
Right.
you know. So, but they're both fun. They're both great fun. And
So you have also worked with a lot of celebrities. So
Right.
how was the experience? Working with celebrities. Is it a challenge or is it fun?
no, I have in the past been Anushka's manager. So I've been his manager for about 4.5, 5 years. I was his personal manager, like a secretary. So I realized that actually, of course, because I don't come from a film family, initially I was a bit starstruck. But later on, they're just like normal people. They're like you and me. Yeah, they also have good moods. They also have bad moods. They also just want to come and do the best job that they can. They are also excited about working. Because if you're not excited about working, you won't come to work.
Right.
You're in this line because you got excited about storytelling, about filmmaking. So most people are like that only. Like I worked with Seth and Karina and we worked on a Advait campaign. I worked again with Amazon, Charge, with Go. It's the same. They are like anybody else. They also want to come and do the best job every day. Most people just want to come and do a great job. They want to look good. They want to do good performance. So I feel like initially, of course, I used to feel very starstruck. But now, because I've worked with them, I don't think that they are. In fact, they come with so much more experience because they've all done so much more work. So it's actually quite rewarding to work with them because you learn a lot of them. But for me, I've done enough work with celebrities and I've done enough work without celebrities to know that actually it's the same. There's no difference.
So Advait, now that you are an established filmmaker, you have also made your debut in feature films.
Right.
So what are your aspirations and ambitions now? What's next?
ये करते रहना माइंड है वही actually the dream was to make films. So after I made my first film, the dream came true.
Yeah.
And for the last 8-9 years, ever since Secret Superstar I started making, I've been living the dream. Every day I wake up and I live the dream. Today I've come to office with working on an ad film which is going to shoot. So I used to be that kid, बोलते नहीं shooting होती है, तो लाइट वाइट दिखती है, फिर वैन वैन होती है, फिर रास्ते पे रोक के देखते हैं, फिर सिक्योरिटी वाला कुछ कर लेता है, फिर वापस आ जाता है. मैं वो था. तो अब मुझे कोई सिक्योरिटी वाला कुछ नहीं करता.
No, you're on the other side.
Yeah, so that's the dream. So my dream has already come true. So honestly, I feel like this is what I have to keep doing till I die. And if I die tomorrow, I'm really happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Chandan. It was
Thank you.
lovely having this
Thank you.
conversation
Thank
with
you.
you.